You ready?
I'm ready to feel it. I'm ready, Bob. Let's do it.
It's the way it ought to be. The Show Me 100 on Memorial Day weekend. And now it's the Dixie Chopper. Feel the thunder! Who's going to get the lead? Josh Richards noses out in front of Tim McCready in the 39. Shane Clanton lurking back there in third. Jimmy Owens in fourth.
The Clint Boyer iRacing Big River Steel Rocket leading the way. There's the battle there, Clanton Owens. Jimmy Owens down the back straightaway. Clanton on the outside of McCready. That's a battle 3 wide for second, Bob.
McCready trapped in the middle. He'll lose a couple of spots. Jimmy Owens to third. Shane Clanton to second. But Owens says, wait a second. I want second place. Good battle here near the top of the field.
Look at that battle right there. Richards, then 2 by 2 behind them. Owens, Clanton, O'Neal, and McCready. A great start to the 29th Show Me 100.
No patience whatsoever for these drivers. They're charging hard early in this 100-lap race. Shane Clanton trying to bulldog his way to the front here on the outside of Josh Richards. Clanton to the lead.
Lap 5, that Skyline Motorsports car, and here comes car 20. The Wheatland Dominator, Jimmy Owens on the bottom, and Josh Richards. Jimmy Owens, 11 wins a year ago, 4-time and defending series champion. He'll move to second.
Josh Richards back to third now early in this one. Oh, now Jimmy Owens going after the lead. Clanton looked good last night, but Jimmy Owens was super strong in the first feature of the night. He went 22nd to 7th in the Cowboy Classic, and right now he's going after the lead. Can't get it done there.
2 leaders in the first 7 laps. It's Clanton Owens, Richards, McCready, O'Neal. Then it's Ferguson, Shepard, Bloomquist, Thornton Jr., and Ryan Gustin runs in 10th.
Owens not giving up on the bottom. Shane Clanton on the top. 2 veterans of the Dirt Late Model Wars going after it. There is Hudson O'Neal. This is the battle between the top 2 point guys in the series right now. Tim McCready in first in that 39, and the 71 of Hudson O'Neal, the 20-year-old, second in points. McCready trying to hold on to fourth.
Hud comes in 65 points behind Timmy Mack. Right now, Clanton, 9 laps in the books, continues to show the way. Couple of more laps, Bob, in this 32-car field. Everybody's still running. Going to move into some traffic. Good battle here. And here's the battle for the lead. Shane Clanton and Jimmy Owens into 3.
Owens keeps on going to the inside, almost getting to that lead. But Shane Clanton just too strong on the top. But right now, they're about to get into some slower traffic. Mason Oberkramer among the slower drivers at the tail end of the field that these leaders are going to have to tackle.
0.4 of a second advantage that last time around for Clanton. Owens on the bottom, but we have another new leader at the line. Half a car length. Clanton still leads.
Not yet, but is it a matter of time before Jimmy Owens goes to the front officially? Look at this. Matt Cosner in the line X66. A little bit slower traffic right now, and Jimmy Owens, one slip up by the Georgia Bulldog, and Jimmy Owens to the lead.
Lap 13. Clanton, Richards, McCready, Hudson O'Neal, top 5. So 3 different leaders, Bob, in the first 13 laps of the Show Me 100.
Owens in control of this race now. Clanton trying to stay with him. Josh Richards still third. McCready is fourth. Hudson O'Neal in fifth. And look at this. McCready now sneaks by Josh Richards into that third spot. So Josh Richards and Tim McCready started on the front row. Right now, they are running third and fourth.
How good is McCready in these 100-lap races? We've seen it how many times at Florence Speedway, the North-South 100. He did it last year. Well, I know, a long way to go. 85 to go as we've got 15 in the books tonight.
Hudson O'Neal, a lot of people looking to that 71 car, the Lazy Days RV machine, as a big favorite here tonight. But then there's the underdog, Chris Ferguson in the 22 out of North Carolina. A big surprise 1 year ago in the Diamond Nationals. He stole the spotlight and the victory. Can he save his stuff and march to the front at the end of the Show Me 100?
16 laps in the record books now, 17 for Jimmy Owens. Clanton, McCready, Richards, O'Neal, then it's Ferguson, Shepard, Brian Shirley up to 8th. Where did he come from, Bob? He started back in 14th. So Brian Shirley on the move early in that Bob and Lisa Cullen 3S.
Here we go. Shane Clanton, strong again, goes to the bottom. He's going to move by Jimmy Owens, but Jimmy Owens has got a rocket ship on the outside. He zooms back by the red 25.
Pretty entertaining so far. Jimmy Owens out of turn 4 behind Chad Simpson, the last car on the lead lap. One car out of the race, Jake Tim so far, 31 still running.
Guess who's catching the top 2? McCready is coming. McCready in the Mega Plumbing number 39 starting to catch the top 2. Jimmy Owens and Shane Clanton, there he is, sneaking into the picture with that bright orange spoiler. McCready is a man on a mission.
20 laps complete, a fifth of the way done here tonight. It's Owens, Clanton, McCready, Richards, O'Neal. Look at the battle here. Shane Clanton on the outside, Owens down on the bottom. You see that berm down there as they go into one. It's really a curb, a concrete curb. And Clanton's going to get a run on the outside. He's still trying to diamond off the corner down the back straightaway behind Chad Simpson.
Oh, had a good run there. Had to check up a little bit. Chad Simpson right in the mix here. He goes a lap down in the black and green number 25. And now Shane Clanton has to go to the inside. Simpson right in the middle of a battle. That slows down the 25, and McCready is there.
Here he comes. Owens leads by 0.6 of a second. Highly entertaining so far. 23 laps in the books. It's still Owens, Clanton, McCready, the battle of the top 3. And here comes 71 Hudson O'Neal. And there's the 14 of Josh Richards. Those are your top 5.
Hudson O'Neal now makes his way by the 14 of Josh Richards. Move Hudson O'Neal up to 4th. Richards back to 5th. Now Hudson O'Neal trying to track down Tim McCready, but he's trying to keep Josh Richards at bay as well.
Right now, 1st through 5th, only separated by 2.8 seconds. Back Owens to Richards. 25 in the books, a quarter of the way done. Jimmy Owens looking for his 5th Show Me 100 win, and a long way to go tonight.
Last year's Show Me 100 winner in the 15, that's Peyton Looney. He now goes a lap down early in this one. Brian Shirley in the 3, trying to climb through the field. One of the hardest charging race car drivers early on. McCready to the outside. This is a challenge for 2nd. McCready, look at the steam he's got on the outside, and he shoots into that runner-up spot.
Nice run on the outside. Clan Novetta back on the bottom. Out of turn 4. We've gone caution-free so far in 27 laps. Owens leads McCready and Clan from 1st to 3rd, 2 seconds. And here comes McCready building up ahead of steam down the back straightaway. Bob, the current Lucas Oil late model dirt series points leader, looking for his 1st Show Me 100 victory.
That's the Longhorn House car. Here's the Capital Machine for for Shane Clanton in 3rd. Track starting to get a little bit bumpy. There is the B5 of Brandon Shepard. Shepard currently battling with Chris Ferguson for 6th.
Again, Brian Shirley started outside of row number 7. He's right there in the mix. There's Richards, Ferguson, Shepard, Shirley. 29 scored as they work lap 30. The lead is 1.3 seconds by Owens over McCready.
Chad Simpson is out of the race. He pulls to the infield. Ferguson, this is a long green flag run here. Ferguson trying to go to the outside of Josh Richards. Ferguson, one of those hard-charging race car drivers from the state of North Carolina. Wow. Brian Shirley with a good move on Brandon Shepard as well. There's the 3-time series champion Jonathan Davenport in the 49, trying to make his way up through the field. He's currently running in 19th. The 2015 winner of the Show Me 100 sits 3rd in the point standings.
Right now, 3 cars out of the race. Jake Tim, Peyton Looney, and Chad Simpson. 29 still on the track. We started with 32. Owens leading on lap 32. 1 second exactly the lead over Tim McCready.
Tyler Erb in that green number 1. 18th, had to take a provisional just to make the starting field. It has been a difficult couple of days for Tyler Erb, but he told David Argabright, don't bet against me. I got a good race car, and he's starting to move through the field. He's just gotten by Jonathan Davenport in the 49.
Tim McCready trying to go under a second here, and right there he sees Owens in his sights. Let's see what this time around, Bob, and he will cut it down another 1/10 of a second, 9/10 of a second now. Jimmy Owens over Tim McCready here in the Show Me 100, 34 laps complete.
Fergie not giving up on the outside. Slower traffic right in front. That's Jason Papich in the 91. Papich third in the MLRA point standings. Surely that opens up the door a little bit for him. Will we go 3 wide coming off the corner? Shirley slides high just a little bit. That outside line still pretty tricky up here so far early in this one.
Squirrel, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack as they bounce through turn 4. 36 complete at 7/10 of a second. So McCready, the last 2 laps, he's cut 3/10 of a second off the lead. Clanton still third. O'Neal, Richards. There's a great battle there. And Brian Shirley's got a good hot rod tonight, Bob.
He does indeed. In that first race last night, he said, the car's not that good. Much better in the second race, finished in the top 10. But tonight, that number 3 machine really looks like it is moving. Ferguson moves by the 14 of Josh Richards. So move Fergie. Oh, trouble for Chris Ferguson. Just as he breaks into the top 5, trouble for Fergie here in Wheatland.
Richards led lap 1 through 4, Clanton 5 through 12. Owens has led since lap 13, Bob.
Jimmy Owens trying to keep that red 25 of Shane Clanton and Tim McCready at bay.
Yeah, 39. He's figured it out. Oh, he bounces through 1 and 2. Clanton on the bottom. Richards. And down the back straightaway. And Brian Shirley, the biggest mover so far. He's trying to get another couple. They're 3 wide back there for third.
Hudson O'Neal put it in the middle. Will it pay off? Not yet. Tim McCready, though, high, wide, and handsome here, going for the lead. McCready, look at that car really work the top groove. He's got the momentum this time by. Can he make it stick with that right rear coming off the corner? Not yet.
Only 2 drivers have won from the second starting spot this year. They're 2 for 17 pole sitters. We mentioned 1 for 17. McCready trying to snap that good battle side by side between the 2 long-time Lucas Oil veterans as they work lap 40.
Behind that, Hudson O'Neal trying to move through the field. O'Neal now up to third, but the battle for the lead. Tim McCready, the hard way around, muscles his way around Jimmy Owens for the lead.
The Cornet-powered Longhorn, the 4th different race leader in the first 41 laps, is the current points leader. Tim McCready Owens. There's a battle there between Clanton and O'Neal. Ricky Thornton Jr. moving up to 6th. Shirley back to 8th. Mike Marlar, by the way, up to 10th in the 157. He's up some spots here in the early going.
Mike Marlar started 15th, has picked up 5 spots. Jimmy Owens not going anywhere. Sticking with Tim McCready right now. Those 2 running really close on the racetrack. A little bit of a gap by about a second and a half. Back to 3rd place running Hudson O'Neal. There is Brian Shirley now up to 6th. B. Shep is there in the B5, the blue car on the inside. Ricky Thornton Jr., we haven't mentioned him yet. He's in the 20 RT and now running in 8th.
Bobby Pierce up to 11th, and it's Heckenast. Tyler Erb up to 13th. He's been on the move. Only 1 caution flag so far, and we've got a car slowing in turn 2. Scott Krigler gets back on it. But meanwhile, your leader, there's a good race there between the 2 Illini drivers, Brandon Shepard and Brian Shirley. That is for 6th and 7th.
Tyler Erb, there's that number 1, still coming through the field. So far, the biggest mover in this race presented by Linex is Garrett Alberson, 2nd in MLRA points, up 8 spots so far, tied with Logan Martin from the Comp Cam circuit.
45 laps scored, 5 shy of the halfway mark. It's McCready, Owens, O'Neal, Clanton, Richard, Shirley, Shepard, Marlar, Thornton, Bronson, 10th.
Brian Shirley also up 8 spots. A little bit of a gap now between 1st and 2nd, McCready and Jimmy Owens. Early in this one as we approach the halfway point in the Show Me 100.
0.8 of a second that time around for the 39 car, the 47-year-old out of Watertown, New York. Here's a battle here, Shirley, Shepard, and Richards going at it. That is for 5th, 6th, and 7th here tonight.
Look at Shepard really working that inside groove, easy with the throttle, trying to work his way around his buddy Josh Richards. Jimmy Owens has closed in on Tim McCready. Owens now to the outside, McCready on the inside. McCready looking for his 3rd victory of the season. Jimmy Owens still a goose egg in the win column in 2021.
Coming up on the halfway mark, 50 down, 50 to go. Billy Moyer Jr. has called it a race. Halfway, Bob, 50 down and 50 to go in the 29th Show Me 100.
McCready and Owens owning this race so far. Hudson O'Neal trying to close in, but has really not closed the gap yet. There is Brandon Sheppard. Keep an eye on him. He may be a factor in the latter part of this race. Clanton starting to slide back a little bit into the clutches of Josh Richards.
And they're going to pick up the tail end of the field in a couple of more laps. There's the battles. Hudson O'Neal's closing the gap. He's about 1 second behind Jimmy Owens. McCready leads by 9/10 of a second. There's Owens and O'Neal, 52 in the books.
I asked Hudson today in the pit area, do you have a good car that can contend for the win? He said, oh yeah. He was very excited about this race, and now he's right there with Jimmy Owens about to contend for second.
Top three right now. There's Clanton in fourth. He's closing on Richards. Behind him, then Sheppard, Shirley, Thornton, Marlar, Bronson, but heavy traffic in front of your race leader into turn number 3, Bob. And here comes 20 and 71.
Yeah, fastest car on the racetrack right now belongs to that 71 of Hudson O'Neal, that Double Down Motorsports team. New combination for this year, and it's really paying off for Hudson O'Neal, trying to go to the outside right now. We'll see if he gets the run off of 3 and 4 this next time by. Hudson O'Neal being very careful as to not make a mistake.
His father won this race before. Right there, Owens into turn number 1. Took an unusual route there, and McCready, as turns 1 and 2 up top there, little treacherous right now, Bob. 55 in the books, and the top 3 are going to be all together. And Jimmy Owens is going to go to the top shelf, trying to regain the lead. And here comes Hudson on the bottom. We got a 3-car battle for the lead. Oh, my goodness.
Owens took a shot at it, but he's going to lose second. Throwing the elbow is Hudson O'Neal just a little bit, but Owens is not giving up whatsoever. Owens back into second now in that Ramirez rocket. Oh,
and
trouble. Tyler Erb upside down in turn number 4. He'll be fun to watch coming from the rear. Can he get it done? Is anything bent on that car? McCready with the lead in the 39. Owens still there. And Hudson O'Neal is the driver to keep an eye on right now in that black and white 71.
Yeah, right before Tyler got upside down, we about had a 7-car battle up front there. You see those top 10. McCready still leads right now. 4th different leader of this race. Took the lead on back 41. Owens, who's second.
Pappage back out there. He'll rejoin at the rear of the field. Back on the gas is Tim McCready. We go back green here in Wheatland.
Hudson O'Neal on the outside, trying to make a bid for second. In turn 2, Bob, he'll have the run. Down the back straightaway, new second-place car is Hudson O'Neal.
Hudson O'Neal on the move. Look at Kyle Bronson, 3 wide in the middle for that orange 40. Battling with Brian Shirley, so Kyle Bronson starting to creep into the mix as well.
Owens
Josh Richards by the 20 machine.
Jimmy Owens struggling right now. After that return to green flag, he'll go back to 5th, Clanton around him. So Jimmy Owens, he was good early in this race, but right now he's on the verge of losing a few more spots here, and he goes way up there in 1 and 2. And here comes the B5 of Brandon Sheppard, Bronson behind him, then Shirley Marlar and Thornton Jr.
Mike Marlar is there as well in the 157. He's up to 9th. Marlar started 15th. Shirley, though, has been lurking in the latter part of the top 10 for a good portion of this race. Almost bikes it up in the corner.
Tim McCready still leads over Hudson O'Neal. The top 2 in the championship points run for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dodge Series. 1st and 2nd in the Show Me 100. It's 8/10 of a second the lead for McCready. About a half a lap away, or half a track away from getting been back in a lap traffic. Look at this battle. Brian Shirley again, his good buddy there, Kyle Bronson on the outside. Mike Marlar prowling on the bottom. 1 last week in Farley, Iowa. Down the straightaway, 3 wide into 1.
Bronson got all sorts of out of shape, and that allowed Shirley to pull alongside. Shirley moves up to 7th now as Kyle Bronson now trying to fend off the 157 of Marlar out of Tennessee.
Right there, the battle right there. Hudson O'Neal, Tim McCready, a rocket and a longhorn down the back straightaway. How appropriate, Bob. The top 2 in the points, putting on a show in the Show Me 100. Hud for the lead.
Hudson O'Neal can't get it done just yet, but O'Neal with a very fast 71 car here past the halfway point in this one. Hudson O'Neal and Tim McCready 1 and 2 in the point standings. 1 and 2 after 64 laps in the Show Me 100.
Hudson O'Neal trying to become the second youngest driver in the history of dirt late model racing and crown jewel events to win the race. They go into one, they're side by side. We may have a new leader. Hud leaves McCready plenty of room. Down the back straightaway. 35 to go. 65 complete, Bob.
This is what you gotta love about the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. The toughest competitors in the country. And young and veteran status right here. Veteran Tim McCready, 20-year-old Hudson O'Neal, battling for the first crown jewel race of the season.
And now McCready upset a little bit then for it. And look at the 14. Josh Richards was dominant last night. He's in the hunt right now in the third spot. 67 scored. He's only 1.4 seconds behind your leader. And right there down the back straightaway, and Hudson O'Neal's going to take the lead, Bob.
One slip up by Tim McCready is all it took. And Hudson O'Neal to the front. O'Neal really just bumping off the corner on those ruts. That opens the door for Tim McCready, but McCready can't take it just yet. Look at O'Neal on the gas.
5 different leaders in the 29 Show Me 100. Hud on the outside. T-Mac there. Josh Richards lurking in third. Clanton in fourth. Shepard is fifth. Coming up on 30 laps to go next time around. They're about a straightaway behind the tail end of the field.
Josh Richards in that 14 is so smooth right now. A little bit further back in the top 10, Kyle Bronson runs 9th. RTJ, Ricky Thornton Jr., the young kid making a name for himself in the Lucas Oil Tour in the past 2 years. In that 20, RT is 10th.
Mike Marlar in running the 7th spot. There's RTJ. You mentioned the iBox Springs Rookie of the Year leader. 30 laps to go.
Ricky Thornton Jr., a crew change on that team. He's basically his own crew chief, picks off 9th from Kyle Bronson after Bronson went for a hop, skip, and a jump down in the corner.
Hudson O'Neal started in 5th, 72 scored. It's O'Neal, McCready, Richards, Clanton, Shepard, Owens, Marlar, Shirley, Thornton, Bronson 10th. Look at that. They are going at it. Bronson, Thornton, and Shirley. Hudson O'Neal 0.6 of a second that last time around, the lead over McCready.
Still plenty to go in this one. Plenty of time for drivers to make a move like Josh Richards is trying to do for second. Pulled up alongside that Mega Plumbing number 39. Couldn't get it done. B-Shep, Brandon Shepard in the B5. Challenging now Shane Clanton for 4th.
Bob, the top 5 have never won the Show Me 100. O'Neal, McCready, Richards, Clanton, Shepard. Owens, of course, a 4-time winner. He runs in 6th. Marlar, Shirley, Bronson, Thornton. Pierce is 11th. Right there, Brandon Shepard. O'Neal the lead, 0.8 of a second over T-Mac, and they're going to pick up the tail end of the field here. Coming up very shortly as they go into one. There's the battle there between Shepard and Clanton.
25 laps to go in the Lucas Oil Show Me 100. Josh Richards catching Tim McCready again now, goes to the top side. Can he close the gap with the top groove here at Wheatland?
Still plenty of racing room out there. They've been 2 and 3 wide the entire race. 76 scored. Hudson O'Neal leads by 1 second. There's second Tim McCready, third Richard, Shepard, Clanton, the top 5. Josh Richards trying to find some moisture, Bob, up top, and here comes B-Shep.
B-Shep is a rocket ship in that B5. Closing in on Josh Richards. Look at how good he is off the bottom. Pulls alongside of that 14 for Clint Boyer. Brandon Shepard, 4th place in both races leading up to the Show Me 100 this weekend here in Wheatland.
Hudson O'Neal trying to tighten that points race. Came in 65 behind. McCready right now running in second. Richard Shepard, they're not out of it yet. Long green flag stretch of racing, Bob. Coming up on 20 to go. Next time around as we have 79 in the books tonight.
And now Hudson O'Neal starting to open up a little bit of a gap between he and Tim McCready. Almost 2 seconds. Take a look at that gap. That is exactly what Hudson O'Neal wants as he tries to win his first Show Me 100 now with 20 laps to go.
Right now we've got 10 cars out of the race, so a little less traffic for Hudson O'Neal. 22 remaining. Scott Bloomquist, the final car in the lead lap there. Shepard and Richards going at it side by side. 20 laps to go. Can McCready, they're going to have to hustle. They still got plenty of time though. 1.9, he stretches it out by 0.1 of a second over McCready, does Hudson O'Neal.
Shepard comes so close to that orange tire down on the bottom of 4 with that inside groove that he is running. But that inside groove has really paid off for Brandon Shepard, now up to 3rd.
Hudson O'Neal, the Rocket Cornet for Roger Sellers, Double Down Motorsports team based in Morristown, Tennessee. Tyler running in 20th right now.
Hey, that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
That race car. Shepard stalking the 39 of McCready. If he gets by McCready and we have a caution, this could be interesting between B-Shep and Hudson O'Neal. Brandon Shepard just so good with the throttle. Now going to the outside as McCready dives to the bottom.
Richards bouncing through 4. Clanton still 5th. Mikey Marlar up to 6th. Owens is 7th. Shirley Thornton Bronson. He is 10th in 40B, and right now the lead 1.7. It was 2 seconds a while ago.
The search for grip late in the going here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Richards back there watching the 2 in front of him battle for 2nd.
Hudson O'Neal's put 2 lap cars between himself. There's Tyler Airburn and 3 wide up there. Herb and Logan Martin on the bottom. Hud trying to make quick work of those 2 down the straightaway. That was close. RTJ a late run here, running in 9th. Shirley in 8th.
RTJ on the outside. He had a good run, a top 5 finish last year here at Wheatland. Brian Shirley 8th last night in the tribute race, but Shirley has faded just a little bit after making a hard charge early in this race. Earl Pearson Jr. in the Lucas Oil number 1. Pearson back in 16th. Davenport has picked up a couple of spots, but it has not been a good race for the number 1 dirt late model driver in the country. Davenport running in 15th.
87 as they work lap 88. Now 12 to go for O'Neal. The lead is 2 seconds over McCready and Shepard. Shepard 0.2 of a second behind T-Mac. Right now, Brandon Shepard is on the inside making a bid for 2nd. Here comes Shepard trying to make it stick. McCready with the crossover. That's for 2nd place.
Shepard could be dangerous. Hudson O'Neal trying to hold on to this one, but B-Shep is pretty quick in his family-owned race car. He moves around Tim McCready. Now McCready trying to hold on to 3rd. 10 laps to go in the Show Me 100.
Hudson O'Neal, it's 1.9 seconds over Brandon Shepard. There's Tim McCready in 3rd. Richards, Clanton, the top 5. Mikey Marlar, 6th. Hudson O'Neal around Tony Jackson Jr. He will make quick work of him down the main straightaway. 9 laps to go for a Show Me 100 victory for Hudson O'Neal.
Shepard is quick, but I think he's going to need a caution to close that gap. 8 laps to go in this one. He's cutting the margin by just a little bit. It was 2.1 seconds down to 1.9.
2 lap cars between your leader and 2nd place, Brandon Shepard. They come out at turn 4. Hud's got to be careful. It's a little treacherous out there. You hit that hole the wrong way, could cost you $30,000.
Bronson in 9th in that bright orange number 40. Shane Clanton closing in on the 39 and McCready for 3rd. That's now a battle for 4th. Josh Richards now in that 3rd spot.
All right, Shepard has cleared Herb. Down the back straightaway. They're about a half a straightaway behind is your 2nd place car, Brandon Shepard. And Bob, Brandon Shepard, 5 to go. Look out. Here he comes. He's got to get around Tony Jackson Jr. right now.
Shepard is closing on Hudson O'Neal. Shepard, last year's number 1 dirt late model driver in America, trying to win the Show Me 100 for the first time. So is the driver in front of him in total control of this race, Hudson O'Neal. Hudson O'Neal's dad, Don O'Neal, won this race back in 2014. Can Hud get it done tonight? He's got the slower car of Earl Pearson Jr. right there. Hudson O'Neal having trouble turning that race car in the center of the corner. 3 laps to go.
O'Neal leading. Now Shepard finally clears Jackson. Now no lap cars between Hudson O'Neal. Hudson O'Neal's going to make the move on Earl Pearson Jr. Put him a lap down. Got to be careful drifting up. We've seen that turn 4 cause some issues tonight. 2 laps to go. for $30,000, Bob.
Wow. Josh Richards bouncing all over the racetrack. He sits in third, but it's all Hudson O'Neal and Brandon Shepard. Can Shepard close in on Hudson O'Neal? This is coming to the white flag right now. Hudson O'Neal trying to hold on to the lead and the win here at Wheatland.
2.2 seconds down to 1.6, but this is it. Final lap, Bob, and the 20-year-old out of Martinsville, Indiana, looking good.
Hudson O'Neal smooth coming off a 4. Like father, like son. Hudson O'Neal wins the Show Me 100. He and his father, the only father and son combination to be victorious in this race.
Very impressive.
Wow. Impressive run for young Hudson O'Neal, and he is pumped up. His third victory of the season for the man that came into this race second in the point standings.
3 in a row. He has his teammate and car owner behind him. The hot shoe, Dylan McCowan, to his right. Sit back, grab some popcorn, enjoy the show as we are going to go green flag racing off of turn number 4. Timms with the quick jump, tries to have his teammate in Joe Duvall following his tire tracks on the low side. Of course, that is a backup car that Randy Timms is driving. Joe Duvall, the main pilot of that program, in the black car right behind him. He had the spare car sitting around. Randy Timms' son is driving just up the road in an ASCS sprint car. He said, why don't you come down, try my backup car? Works pretty well, I think, after winning 2 races in a row, and now he has a good 3-car length advantage over Joe Duvall.
Yep, the Mel Hambleton Ford entry, Duvall electric, and kind of wondered if Big Daddy wouldn't make him swap out cars at the rate it was going this weekend. Right now, the 91s run 1 and 2 as Dylan McCowan takes his 8 to the top of the track, plows up around the cushion. That opens the door for Buttonbuck, Ryan Middaugh, and Chad Wheeler. Chad Wheeler has been on rails this weekend, Shane, but everybody's going to have to slow down here
at Lucas Oil Speedway, and to show you how tight this modified division in, he's 4th in the point standings, only 8 points back. It is tough up at the top of the ladder in this modified division. Back underway, and the pair of 91s run 1-2. The team cars have shuffled Ryan Middaugh back to 3rd, and now Dylan McCowan, after getting up into the loose stuff over in turn 4, is trying to make his comeback. He told us a couple of nights ago that he had been running lower on the track. He wanted to make that move to get higher, try to find that open space where nobody else was running. You can stay down low and run in that choo-choo train, but if you aren't able to get out of line and make a thing, you probably know the name of Chad Wheeler. He built over 200 sim machines during the COVID break. 22 NASCAR drivers own one of his simulators. Patrick Mahomes does as well. As Timms out in front of Joe Duvall again, the 2-car breakaway of the pair of 91s, but this time he's got company behind him as a 3-car battle. Chris Jackson goes to the inside of Ryan Middaugh, and Dylan McCowan still climbs the high side.
McCowan really up against the wall there, slinging the right side of his race car all the way out, trying to find some grip, trying to find some run, and he gets enough to get around the 21 of Ryan Middaugh. Jackson chasing the 21 as well as he and McCowan try to split him as the 91s continue to roll out in front of the field. Timms with a 1.2 second advantage over his car owner in Joe Duvall.
Chris Jackson in the 65 brought that car to the track for the very first time yesterday, and he will plow up the track, just barely save it from going over the cushion. That allows Jason Pursley to pass by, but Jackson is another one of those B-Mod drivers that comes up through the ranks, one of the top 3 in that division. He's a defending national champion, and tough break for the 51 of Lucas Gibbs as the Udall, Kansas native loses a lot of positions, but he will get it back out on the track. Lucas Gibbs had a steering box go out, and he had to head back to the pit area yesterday. He probably would have been a lock to get in to at least a top 5 starting position for this A main if it had not been for the malfunction on his car. Now he'll try to split the wicket, go between two cars, get bumped out by Chase Jones.
Well, and he was moving up the field before he found a spot on the track that made his car unhappy, and then he gets shuffled into the back half of the field. All the while, Timms continuing to keep his attack up front with 10 laps in the book so far in this one. Those pair of 91s look good and easy out front, and then side-by-side racing back further in the field is McCowan trying to clear the 21. They have been going at it, Shane, for the last 2 or 3 laps. It's a great battle.
Yeah, Dylan has not budged from the high side. He is running top shelf with 3 wins on the season already, 2 of them right here. He won 17 last year. That included 3 in a row. And he is currently sitting 4th in the USRA National Point Standings. He'll give ground to Ryan Middaugh, as Middaugh has that advantage by a car length. Chris Jackson in tow. He's still running top 5 right now.
You saw Andy Bryant, Shane, exit stage right earlier. One other driver, the 21R of Rusty Skaggs, has also retired now. So we've lost 3 cars from the drop of the green flag as we near the midway point in this one.
Persistence will pay off for Dylan McCowan. Last time by over in turn 4, he had the run to get around Ryan Middaugh. He'll do the same thing exiting turn 2. Gets that nose out in front. The first time now we've seen McCowan go lower on the track, trying to pinch down on Ryan Middaugh, make him lift off the gas, and it worked, as Dylan now will get out in front, go to the low side, chop off the nose of Middaugh, and grab that position.
That Hughes power plant trying to give him a little bit of advantage. And they are halfway home in this one. You see Middaugh falling back, and all of a sudden another battle is Chris Jackson. And Jackson and McCowan, Shane, we've seen them battle in B-mods. That's where we're used to seeing them. And then all of a sudden Jackson throws his hat into the ring with a modified on this holiday weekend. Everybody still chasing the 91X.
Randy Timms came from Wheatland, Oklahoma to Wheatland, Missouri. It's an MB Custom chassis. We asked the crew, so what's the power plant underneath the hood? It says, we really don't know. We've got 3 manufacturers that supply engines. We've got 5 engines. We have no clue which one's in it. Running second right now is Joe Duvall. They call him Big Daddy out of Justice, Oklahoma. He wanted the Rev. Won over $3,000, biggest payday he had for a win.
The funny thing about that was when I asked him, Shane, that was the biggest payday you've ever gotten for a win. He goes, well, it's not my biggest payday. I've actually gotten bigger checks for coming in second or third, but it's the biggest check I ever got for straight up winning a race.
Lead for Timms now, a 2.5 over his car owner and Joe Duvall. Then it's another 3 seconds back to Dylan McCowan. The race there is for 4th with Middaugh out in front of Chris Jackson. Chris Jackson can wheel just about anything. We've seen what he's been able to do in a B-mod. First time he's come out in a modified, and I think any driver will tell you there's just a little bit more horsepower, and the big thing with the modified is the adjustability. They go with a 4-link rear end. You can do a lot more different things, which is good. You can adapt it, but if you make the wrong change, there's too many things that can go wrong, and you can go the other way just as easy.
He had his business, 3-link technologies by Chris Jackson. Now he is going into business with his cousin. You might know Tony Jackson Jr., J2, going to be their new working project between the two of them. But you don't win back-to-back B-mod national championships in the USRA by not knowing how to get around the field. Now we're going to see what Timms does in traffic as the great equalizer. Lap traffic going to come to play now.
He gets past Domer. He gets past Daniel Franklin. Next in the crosshairs is Schweitzer. As Timms was going low side, he reads where the traffic is in front of him, makes the adjustment, goes top shelf, and with 8 to go, he is having no issues at all getting through traffic. Now 2 cars sit between him and second place running Joe Duvall. There you see Johnny Finewald, pilot of number 21, a late model driver here at Lucas Oil Speedway and a 3-time champion. This is his toy. He likes to come out with a modified just to have fun. He has fun in a late model as well, but this is just a one-off race for him and a good showing for him on the night.
That ULMA late model, Shane, against the field that was here this weekend, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. The MLRA would have been hard to go up against those guys, but the modified gives him equal footing as he does battle here with the 292 of Thompson from Joplin.
Goes to the high side, and he will look to get around him and do so easily. He's another driver that doesn't try to do too much with his car. He realized some guys like to go off and sling it into the turns, get up on the high side on the cushion. Some are bottom feeders. He just finds the best way around, points it, lets the car do the work for him.
Kansas City, Kansas driver Rodney Schweitzer has retired to the infield now as the race continues to be Randy Timms. Shane, he has been up front. He and McCowan went back and forth momentarily in the early offerings of this one, but since then it has been Timms just taking over the track.
Stretching it out to a 2.7 second lead now. Nobody has anything for Randy Timms. Finished second a few times ago that he was here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Ran a late model a couple of years ago. And now with only a couple of laps left, as long as we can stay clean and green, he will look to start putting even more cars a lap down and leave no doubt whenever he comes to Wheatland, Missouri at Lucas Oil Speedway, he will be the car that everyone wants to keep his eyes on. This time by, Mike Striegel waves the white flag for him, and Randy Timms has one more circuit to go. Two more left-handers now as he will clear the lap traffic, dive off into turn number 3. We asked him earlier, do you have a nickname? He said no. Can we give you one? How about Mr. Perfect? Perfect on the weekend. Show me 100 gives 3 wins to Randy Timms.